Right, I think we're live. Guys, if you've got any questions, drop them down below. I'm just going to do a quick update going live. Obviously, just going to support you guys in your Amazon businesses, doing Amazon arbitrage. If you've got any questions, drop them down below. Obviously, I'm going to have a look at them. Just want to make sure that we're actually, all working as expected. So if you are here, do drop a question, just say hi, let me know down below. But I thought I'd give you a quick update on the business, where we're at. Amazon USA, Amazon UK, online arbitrage, talking about that. So if you've got any questions, let me know. I'm just loading up, just making sure we're going live on the gram, Instagram as well. So if you're here, let me know. If you can see me, just drop a hi, maybe a like if you want to. And by the way, if you've got any questions, drop it down below. Honestly, I will answer them. Pretty much like going live every day. Really support you guys, answer any questions you've got. Finished filming for the day. We're also creating some cool downloadable content, which is around VAs, hiring VAs, and what we're doing there. So if you want to know, yeah, we're now live on Instagram. So I just thought I'd give you guys a quick an update. So let me know how you're getting on. If you've got any questions in your Amazon business, I've got a lot of questions just to actually come through. So I appreciate December's a busy time. We just recorded a video about my plans for also King Dave O on Instagram has just joined. Hey, King Dave O. So Nina Thriller, I think it is. So if I'm getting it right, it's all one word on Instagram. Yeah, so I just recorded a video about my plans for December in 2022, and obviously planning that, and also thinking into, should we say, 2023. Like, one of the big things I've got to do next month is like make sure all my plans are up to date. Couple of questions coming in. We've got a couple of questions. So guys, you've got questions, drop them down below. If you're on Instagram, drop your questions, I will see them. Elms has mentioned quickly, hi mate, I started FBA recently. I wanted it to work, but almost 80% of the products my VAs find I'm gated in. Is there any way around this? Yeah, like long story short is your VA should be connected to your Amazon Seller Central account, i.e. you have a secondary user and add them in. And when they're using their sourcing tools, when they do the sourcing check, King Dave O said, hi, bruv, well done. Cool. Hey, King Dave. Guys, if you've got any questions on Instagram, let me know. I will answer them. I appreciate there's a little bit of a delay, so you might have to wait a second. So let me know. Drop your questions in the comments. I am checking. I can see it. So coming back to Elms, he said 80% of the products. So definitely Amazon Seller Central, add your VA as a secondary user. Once you add them as a secondary user, when they do their sourcing, they should be logged into the Seller Central account, and they'll be able to see if you are gated in these products. So yeah, they found these deals, but they're not good because you're gated. So the idea is that they'll disregard that deal and then carry on. Like, unfortunately, it's just the very nature of what we do when you first start. It's a real problem. A top tip, if anyone is starting out and they're wondering about like how they can get over the kind of gated deal issue, like the typical way everyone gets taught sourcing is like go to Walmart, go to Argos, for example, and then go over to find a product and then find the same product in Amazon. My advice is don't do that. Why? Because there's so many products on the retail side and you've so few products on the Amazon side which you can actually sell, that you've got a lot more work to do on this side. So instead you should focus on this side first. Go onto Amazon, look for products that you can sell first, then go find suppliers. You're starting with the few and then going to the many. And by doing that, you're naturally going to rule a lot out. So I hope that kind of makes sense. And I think the real question is definitely if you've got a VA, they should be logged into your account, well, not your account. They have secondary user access, and then by the way, when they do that, they'll be able to see what you get in, not, and obviously only show you deals you get in. We do it in Fast Track FBA Seller account or Fast Track FBA VA Academy. It works really, really well, and a lot of our customers will find lots of great deals. So Elms, let me know down below if that helps out, guys. If you're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, drop me a message. Let me know. I am watching it all. Like, I literally have like another screen just here where I can kind of see what's going on. I can see bits and bobs. So let me know, and obviously I will answer them as we go through. So honestly, I'm really interested to support you. And if you guys get questions, just drop them in. I will answer them. So that's great. And obviously, if you're on Twitter or anything, let me know as well. So I'll see that as well. But I appreciate. I'm just going to kind of live, pretty much over the Q4 period, supporting you guys in your business, answering your questions, and I'll give you an idea of what's going on mine. I'm like moving screens everywhere, like absolute nightmare. One thing I will say is my internet has been playing up. So if you do get disconnected, if I get disconnected, I can only apologize. But I just want to let you know that I am here, I'm listening, and obviously I'll go through it. So a couple more, guys, if you're on Instagram, drop it in. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, drop me a question as well. So Faizan, how to get approved for a brand in Q4? Yeah, approval. Yeah, so just give the brand a call and just say, like, you're getting ungated. Wholesale, if you're doing wholesale, Harrison's direct in the UK. If you're doing wholesale in the US, Frontier Co-op, I'd really look at like e-distribution. They're going to be really good as well. I think that's a really important point. And then the idea is that you're going to, you just get ungated through them. That's going to help you out. So definitely look at those. They're going to be very helpful, and they can get you the brands ungated. Guys, let me know. Here we go. Someone mentioned a question. So someone says here, my work is increasing that it's becoming difficult to handle. This is Ali that's on Instagram. So I just kind of answer that. So if you're on Instagram, I am listening. My work is increasing that it's becoming difficult to handle. How many total VAs do you have per marketplace just working for your Amazon business, not entirely a number of VAs working for your academy? Okay, cool. We've kind of blended, so it's quite complex. I probably don't think me talking about exactly the situation right now is going to be too helpful, because we're still working through what's like the good and the bad, should we say. So the one thing which I will probably say for you is, the one thing which I'll probably say for you is in this situation about how many VAs to have, or what's the situation. And what I will do, I'll see if I can copy it over here. Can I just copy this? And the reason why I say this is because when we did, so if I kind of use a really good analogy, when we did the 1 million, which is that one there, that million there, when we did that, that was that basically took 3 sourcing VAs, 1 purchasing manager, 1 admin VA, and we got to like 990 or 960,000, I think it was, and then we kind of merged the teams and brought a lot more VAs over. So to kind of give you an idea, I think what you're going to see is, if you are looking at like how to scale, what to do, and to grow that kind of business, then my net, in regards to VAs, and by the way, if you are looking at like that VA side, then what I would really recommend is the fact that you think about 3 VAs to do 1 million. And by the way, our average order value is about $7,000 or $70 per item. So if you're going to reduce it down, that's a really big important point. So that's how it works. So $70 per item. You can probably do the maths. Buy for $70, sell for like 104. Really, buy for 35, sell for 100, sell for what's it called? Sell for, we gotta get it right done. Buy for 35, sell for 70, about $70. And we had 3 sourcing VAs. That's the way it works. Alza Tara on Instagram, let me know if that answers your question. But across my entire 3 companies, we have about 80 odd staff. So it's a lot of staff. Like, I wouldn't really recommend you need that many, because we run 3 companies, and one's a service company, and service company is just really, really like lots and lots of staff. So that'll kind of help you out. Let's kind of jump through. Dan has said, have you ever found your cancel order rate? Yeah, UK is fine. USA, this rate's going crazy. We've gone up to, in the last couple of days, we've gone up to like 20%, which has been really annoying. We had 40% one day. And the net result was that what happened? We just, like, a couple of ones is a lot of people are running out of stock, and they're not going to get it in. They're going to take 2 or 3 weeks before they get it in. If they take 2 or 3 weeks, that means we're not going to be able to get it shipped to us before Christmas. Shipped to us and then shipped into Amazon before Christmas, so we're not going to do it. So the net problem is the fact that because suppliers are running out of stock, we're just like, it's not going to be helpful. So we cancel the order ourselves. So yes, some of the orders are being cancelled by supplier, other ones we're cancelling ourselves because they've run out of stock. That's the long story short. So US, definitely, we've seen that. That's a big one. Ali, that's yeah, sure, helpful. Thank you. Honestly, glad that's helpful. Guys, if you're on Instagram, drop me drop a message. I'm here to help. I appreciate some people just like to sit in and listen. Hey, my God, just me talking to myself. But if you've got questions, please, like if you guys are engaging with me, I'm like, yeah, cool, I can help you out. I can answer. I'll support you in that. But well, also as well, like, the other element is that if it's just me sat on my own, it's like, oh, Tom's talking to himself, which could be fine. Maybe you enjoy that. Maybe you just enjoy watching me like squeal on my own. But if you've got questions, drop them down below. Honestly, I will fully. I'd rather help you than not. Been a mentor, Mark. I don't know if I'm getting that right on Instagram. Says hi. Hey, honestly, good to see you. How are you? I'm good. Honestly, I'm really good. Hit the thumbs up if you like it. If you like questions. Q4 is going well. Spend's really good. We're running out of money. I just need the Amazon USA to give me a loan. Like, it's really annoying. Done over $1 million, not giving me a loan. It's like, why? So we'll see. Let's go through the Omar Dad. What ROI do you aim for? Personally, go for 20, but thinking the pros and cons are different to 15. So I'm assuming you're selling in the UK, not the USA, because the USA, like 20% would be like, oh my God, I wouldn't go that low. Like, my team have wanted to go that low, but we've been like, no. In the USA, like I think last week we did about 51% ROI on purchases. Spend's dropping around at sales about 40%. So it's okay. It's good. Like it's much better than the UK. UK last week, I think it was about 19% or maybe 21. I think it was 21 actually. I think it was 21. Like that was okay. We generally try, like last week we purchased at 25, and by it's going to take like a couple of weeks for that to get sold. But we'll sell at about 19 to 20. That makes sense. That's very way of saying. Look, don't get me wrong. You can definitely drop down. You know, never like that. That's the easy answer. But I don't think that is the answer. Like we spent £75,000 last week at 25% estimated ROI. We'll probably sell at 20 if I'm being conservative. I've got friends who are buying at 20, selling at probably 17, and they're doing over 6 figures a week. So I think the answer is you could definitely drop down, but I would probably challenge your sourcing, or maybe even look at buying. You know, if you haven't got a sourcing VA, get them, because you know, like I want to get the good deals. If you do the calculations on 20% ROI versus 15% ROI, let's say for example you're spending a conservative 2,000, 2,000 a week. I'm just going to do the calculations now. It's a really good question. Like I like numbers. If you ever follow me, I'm a big numbers guy. I want to know what's going on. So if you do 15% ROI, and let's call it 2,000 a week, so that's going to be 8,000. At 15% ROI, you're going to be making what, £1,200 gross profit. Let's say, for example, you did exactly the same, 8,000 again in a month, by the way, 2,000 a week, 4 weeks, and you're doing a 20% ROI, you're going to do 1,600. That's about a £400 difference. Now, interesting enough, if this is you're still working, but you could hire a VA, get them to do 20% ROI, which is perfectly achievable. 2,000 a week is nothing. And then the idea is that you're going to pay the VA and net out the same amount you would if you went down to 15 yourself. But interesting enough, you're not doing the work. So your revenue per hour would go massively up by hiring someone and giving them more time to focus on better deals. And I hope you kind of understand that's like what I do. That's the way it kind of works. So we kind of use that as well. A couple of people joined on Instagram. Bin Yaman, good to see you. Gav, I think it's Gavix7 joined. Amish JD, stuck on Amazon FBA and wholesale. Which one? I'm very confused. Please give me a hint. I can't tell you that answer. By the way, Omid Dad, let me know if that answers your question down below. Sorry, I just kind of jumped over to Instagram straight away. So personally, I think you stay for 20. And if you haven't got a VA, get a VA. That'd be my answer. I can't tell you the answer between FBA, wholesale, and OA. I used to do a bit of wholesale, not much. We've gone back to OA. If you are looking at doing wholesale, Amazon Lit, Watch Me Amazon. Those are the two guys I'd really recommend. They know what they're doing. They're doing it big level. I won't lie, I've got both of their courses. I think they're amazing. I've met them many times. Amazon Lit, I've met many times, not Watch Me Amazon, but I think they're really good, so do check them out. Let's kind of go through Elms. Thanks, my brother. I will add them as a secondary user. As more time passes and get more sales, I'll be able to auto and get on products. Yes, 100%. We did it in the USA. We did lots and lots of products where we got auto and gated, and it made, we just started getting sales velocity. It's a pain when you're first starting out, but you just got to keep doing the auto and gating. It does, by the way, do the wholesale route as well. Like, there's no harm. Just do the wholesale route. Once you get to the 15th of December and you're not going to buy anything else for Amazon, then you're not going to buy anything more for Christmas. Just go down, buy some stuff from wholesale and get yourself on gated. Really simple. EE distribution, Frontier Co-op in the US, in the UK, Harrison's Direct. Honestly, check it out. It's really, really simple. I recommend doing that. It's a real common one. Let's kind of go through Z Mongol. Why did you start to sell on Amazon? Great question. I kind of talked about my story quite a lot. So I created a procurement company when I first started, and because my brother-in-law created a procurement company, I was like, wow, this is incredible. And I did it in the UK marketplace, into government, actually. I used to sell to the government, schools, hospitals, etc. And hated it, absolutely hated it. And we had lots of wholesale contacts created and distribution and manufacturers. And the net result was that we just ran out of stock. No, should we say, they don't run out of stock, sorry, tell a lie. My brain's going elsewhere. We were buying, but I hated it. If you've ever dealt with the government or any kind of institution, they're the worst. So I was like, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. I didn't build a business, so I hated it, and I hated it. So I just cut it. I just shut it. But we had the trade references. We had the accounts. So I said, I really I like having my own business. I like trading products. I don't have to deal with people. I like that. But I didn't want to deal with the government. And so I went, could we do wholesale over to eBay? You had to do logistics, hate that. Then I learned about Amazon FBA, really like that. Didn't work out because I kept buying the same products as Amazon. Stupid. Like, competing versus Amazon on their own marketplace. Stupid. And then the idea is to say that we eventually, I learned about OA, buying Lego. It was Q4 at the time. Just went, oof, and carried on doing it ever since, and just scaled up from there. So really liked it. But I love the freedom of it. I love the fact you don't have to deal with the customers. I love the fact they deal with the distribution model. You can do it online, and I love the fact that you can keep scaling, and Amazon deal with a lot of the scaling problems for you, like logistics, because I thought that was amazing. So yeah, that's why I did it. Z, let me know down below why you started. That was a really good idea. Let's kind of go through. Hello, I'd like to ask you, how is it possible to get a credit card for non-UK resident and limited company, no credit score, no UK residential address? Therefore, I cannot get any bank account. Okay, so I don't know the exact answer to this, but I'm going to kind of use an analogy which I'm currently going through right now, which is I'm in the process of doing exactly the same thing in the US. Now, technically, I'm not a US resident, and it's a lot harder to do this in the US than it is to do in the UK. So, first couple of things we did like, I had an Amex UK bank account, or credit card. So I told them I was moving. So then I got an Amex personal credit card, and then that gave me. And by the way, I used my office address, but I kind of told Amex the wrong address by accident. I still need to update that, of course. So I removed the office part of it and just called it unit something. My office address is unit, and then I used that statement along with my passport to say, yeah, I'm moving to the States right now, and I don't have. I have my ITIN, which is my tax ID number, but I'm waiting. I'm going to get my SSN soon. Just moved over last week. Here's my documents. Can I create a bank account? And you have to do it in person. So then, because I had the documents and I did it in person, I created a bank account. And now I'm in the process of doing transactions. And then net result was I want to get those transactions going. I will be able to do. I'll be able to build a thing. It's a hard process, and the reason is you're after credit cards. And by the way, what is a credit card? It's really a promise to someone's giving you money that you promise to pay back. And generally, credit cards are all done on risk. And if they can't see your details, they're not going to loan to you. So long story short is that you've got to just she said, you've really got to think about that process. And it's going to take you time. It's going to take a long time to build, because if you're not a UK resident and you have no credit score, no residential address, then 9 out of 10 or 99% of credit cards are probably going to say no by default because they're just not interested. So you're going to have to try and get around that. It takes time. And you're going to have to build up like a residential address, do some transactions to that, credit history to that. You're then going to have to do like bank statements. And you're going to have to probably go in person to the UK to create a bank account and say you live somewhere. There's a lot of documentation a lot of process online how to do this, but it's not easy. You're probably going to have to do it online. Why? Because generally speaking, you shouldn't be having a credit card in the UK if you're not a resident, not living there. Why? Because if things go wrong with the credit card, guess how they come after you? By using the UK legal system. And if you're not a UK resident, they can't come after you. So they'll probably say no by default. Your idea is to make them think you're a UK resident, and they'll say, yeah, we'll give you the money. It's not nice. I really understand it, and I know it's a real pain. I know you think it's unfair, and I know you think it's horrible, but unfortunately, that's the way it is, because they're really looking at the risk, and the risk is if you're not a UK resident and you don't pay your credit card bill, they have no way of getting the money back. And let me ask you a question: would you loan someone money if you knew that things went wrong? You had no way of getting that money back. Like, there's no risk to the person who you're loaning it to. They could run off their money and that's it. It's not going to affect them in any way. You wouldn't do that at all. It's exactly the same in the credit card company. So it's going to take time. I really understand it. It just takes time. But good question. Really, really good question. And I'm going through the same thing in the US right now. By the way, the US is a lot harder. Why? Because if you're a US resident, you get an SSN. It's clear as day. If you're not a US resident, you get an ITIN. And by the way, whenever you apply for any credit card, you have to use your tax ID. And in the UK, the tax ID is a number, which is really simple. Like, I don't even know if they ask for it half the time. They don't ask me. They literally just go, yeah, what's your name and your address? And they can look it up. But in the US, the moment you give them an ITIN, they know you're not a resident. And it's so much harder. So much harder because the number gives it away. It's like a black and white, very hard. Like, you get to the website and it says, sorry, this is an SSN, tough luck. Okay, that makes sense. What do we got? We've got questions coming in. I've got a comment here from Gav. SDK, Profit Protector Pro, deal sheets or group with leads, accountant, Amazon seller account. Seems like need a good chunk of ongoing costs without stock buying chunk of money to start. Yeah, I get your point. Look, SaaS I think is really important. You don't really, Keeper I think is great, but you can do it with just SaaS. SDK I like, but again, you can get the free trials. We managed to figure out how to get 3 months of free trials with just, should we say, using those, like, what do you call it? Just using, 3 months free trials of all the Profit Protector Pros and SaaS. Like, you can do that, reprices. Deal sheet you don't need, you can just do it manually. Group with leads you don't need, you can do it manually. You don't need to pay for groups, you don't need to pay for leads. Accountant, you don't need that. You can wait for 10 months in, you can wait for the first year to be done. It's not a problem. Like Amazon reselling account, yeah, of course you need that. But interesting enough, if you don't actually sell anything for the first time, you can get the money back. I think you can message them and say, I haven't sold anything, can I have my money back? And they'll do it for you. And then the final one, which is, unfortunately, I can't copy that, which is really annoying. Yeah, and then you talk about chunk of money. Yeah, like, you get your point. But don't get me wrong, I'm a service provider as well. And obviously we provide services to people that make it easier. But if you're running on a budget, your job is to not spend any of that money on services. And if you're going to ask me, I think you could probably get away with just having an Amazon reseller account and SaaS. Like, that's probably the minimum I think you can get away with. And you're not going to be too far behind everyone else. You can manually reprice, do those things. It'll be a bit annoying, but you'll get there. But then also you can kind of use as well. So yeah. Who have you got? Zach, Sugar and Spice has joined. Zoe's joined. Yeah, let me know. So that's fine. Let's kind of jump through. Any other questions, drop it down below. But Gav in Instagram, thank you so much. Who have we got here? Surf. Hi, one of my ASINs is stranded. The reason is qualification required. What do I do? You need to get ungated. That's it. You need to get ungated. You need to, should we say, basically go get the documentation if you're in the UK. Harrison's Direct if you're in the USA. Frontier Co-op e-distribution. That'd be my advice. Go speak to them. Just you get the brand or the category ungated. That's it. Gav says, thanks very much for the reply. Gav, no problem. Glad I can help. I really, look, don't get me wrong. I understand if you're starting out on Amazon and you are, and by the way, everyone's telling you to buy all these things. Buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think at the end of the day, you can do this really cheaply. Like, you can do it pretty cheaply. Like, and let me ask you a quick question. SaaS is what, 25 quid, $25 a month. And then Seller Central is what, 30. So let's call it 50 bucks, 60 bucks. Let's put a bit more, 60 bucks. If you haven't got 60 bucks a month spare, 60 pounds, 60 bucks, $60, then I probably don't think you should be starting a business. I'm not going to lie. Like, I appreciate there's a hustle in people and they want to do it. But if you can't afford like $100 a month, just like on costs, let's say, for example, you have some savings, you saved up some money, you want to invest. Also, you haven't got a spare $100 a month. Like, maybe you can't cut down on your, I don't know, lattes or something. And Gav, I'm not saying you're like this, but you hear a lot of people who talk about, like, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Like, and by the way, it's absolutely okay to buy all these services. I really agree with that. But you've got to realize they're for people probably with more money and less time. They probably have really good day jobs and they have a lot of spare cash. But a lot of people, especially who do hustling in this, they're probably going to be more people who have got a bit of money, they've got a lot of time, but they don't have so much money, and they've got some savings. And I think that kind of works absolutely fine. But again, like, you don't have to buy all these things. I hope that makes sense. Can you have Spice in your team for a VA? Binyamin, I think it is. Binyamin. I have no idea what you mean by Spice in my team for VA on Instagram. Sorry, let me know down below. Let's kind of jump through Surf. How do you work out your exact profit per month? Great question. If anyone really wants to know, and by the way, we documented all our SOPs, we do charge for it. It's called fasttrackfba.com. Go to services and then courses, and then do my admin mastery course. It's part of the Seller Academy, by the way. You get it free as part of the Seller Academy. But long story short is I have a wonderful team of, like, I think it's 6, could be 7 now, administration assistants. They manage all my inventory. They manage all my accounting side, the finance, and at a very fundamental level, what do we do? Well, all our transactions, including Amazon sales and all our purchases on our credit cards, are all linked into Xero and QuickBooks in the UK, Xero in the UK, QuickBooks in the US. So they all get pulled into there. We code them up correctly, VAT codes, tax codes, etc. We bring everything in. We then get our bank statements and we check the bank statement versus each individual bank account on the what do you call it, on the software. And then the idea is we make sure they all balance. That's really important. We've got to balance. Then also what we do is what's known as our opening and closing stocks at the beginning and the end of every month. Absolutely fine. And then what we do is we put all that information into our accounting software. And then what we do is we pull the balance sheet and the P&L, and then we check that versus our P&L software like SDK. We're looking for variations. You always get variations, that's a fact, because of the volume of trade that you do. But we're looking to see how close are they? Are they really far off? Are they close? And then once we're pretty happy, what we then do is we then add in the cash back. And then once a month, generally after the 15th of each month, sorry about the dog, I will sit down with my admin team and my operations manager, and I will literally review the balance sheet. I will review the P&L versus budget, the P&L versus historical, and then also as well we'll review the P&L including the cashback, and that's like a finance review. I do it for 3 companies. Takes 30 minutes to do Fast Track FBA once a month. It takes 45 minutes to do the Amazon businesses. They're just a little bit longer. Fast Track FBA is really easy. Service companies are easy. Stock companies are a bit more pain because you have like get your head around stuff, big questions, etc., etc. But that's it. That's how we work. And then, by the way, that gives me a net profit figure at the end of each month, and I can see that, and I know how we're tracking. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. You get variations in stock control. But at the end of it, and by the way, I didn't even take that money. That money just sits there in the business. I take the cash back. Like it's like good money, really, really good money, like really good money. But the idea is the fact that that sits there, and at the end of the year, if I'm like, cool, we've got a lot of money, I'll take it as a dividend payment, for example. That'd be the way it would work. So it depends, or like I'll invest it in something else. Doesn't really matter. But really, that money just sits in the business and grows through. But that's how we work it out. Gav said on Instagram, haha, yeah, certainly I do like a latte. Don't get me wrong, I do as well. But unfortunately, in Mexico, they're a lot cheaper. I want to use 500-600K a month, but I also want to buy that stock. Lots of those services, I believe, will get me my feet before manually finding. Yeah, I get your point. I get your point about like not wanting to use services like lead services. I really 100%. But I think the top tip is we have to learn how to do it manually. Look, the one thing I'm going to say is like, it's like I know a lot of very big sellers, and like I like to think I'm a reasonably big seller, not the biggest at all by any such amount, but I've met a lot of 7- and 8-figure sellers who do arbitrage. They all have VAs. They don't have lead sheets. They don't even use sourcing software. They build teams. And interesting enough, what do the VAs do? The VAs aren't using lead sheets. The VAs aren't using sourcing software. What they're doing, they're going out there and manually doing it every day. And don't get me wrong, I like to think I'm reasonably intelligent. I like to think the other 8-figure and 7-figure Amazon sellers are pretty intelligent. And they're telling their staff not to use these tools. And I'm not saying the tools are wrong. Why? I even do a lead service. My God, you can buy my lead service. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's really good if you, like, lead services are great to start out with. Sourcing software is great to start out with. It starts getting you going. But really, once you get going, you can probably do it on your own. Like, you can just get going. Like, and that's what we do. Lester John Official on Instagram said, "Hey Thomas, hey Lester John Official." You got Laylu and Yamin Rama, I think I'm going to get that right, 68, and Binyamin, I think it is. Binyamin said hi. I thought that's great. Cool. Glad I could help. Let's jump back over to some questions on the old YouTube. Okay. So that's here we go. What's your ideal ROI in the UK at the moment? Our VA currently struggle to find 30% products. Yeah, we do 25. We're VAT registered, 25% VAT. They seem to be finding that. I think that we try and target 20% ROI. But right now the team are doing 25, so we're really happy with that. So it's up to you. Again, your costs are going to be a big factor. Other metrics, don't just look at ROI in isolation. Think about it. If you're saying I want 100 sales a month, it's probably not going to happen. If you want something like 5 to 10, you'll get 30% ROI. I don't think that's a problem, especially as VAT registered. You can do it, but how many you're going to get, is up to you. I think definitely do it. If you're a member of the Fast Track FBA VA Academy, you can speak to my team and we'll help you out and do some training with you. So we have a whole aftercare team that will support you with your VA. If they're struggling with deals, speak to them. If not, buy a VA from Fast Track FBA VA Academy next time, because we do, not only do we have a whole aftercare team that you can literally just go, "Hi, can you help my VA? They're struggling," and my team will jump in and help you. Saves you a lot of hassle. Who wants that? But number 2, if you're still not happy after 3 months, you can get your money back. Like, we have a 3-month guarantee with our VAs, and that's Fast Track FBA/VA. And if you're not, it's for online arbitrage, manual sourcing. We find, hire, and train them all, support them for 12 weeks in your business. We have all our SOPs, all our documentation, all our processes, all our tracking. My team are watching it all the time. And then the final one is the fact that if you're still not happy after 12 weeks, you can get your money back. Like, Can't say better than that. I can't say better than that. Let's kind of jump through. That's a really good question, guys. If you are, one thing I will just say, talk about like the VA Academy. Just talk about the Fast Track FBA Seller Academy. Today is Wednesday. We actually close the doors to new signups. You cannot book another session for the Fast Track FBA Seller Academy. Now, if you don't know what it is, it's my own private group where I'm teaching 20 people, only 20 people, how to do this. We've already had a wave of 20 in. They're going. We're really happy with them. We're looking for the next wave. Now, so the first wave has come in. We're really happy with that. We're looking for the next wave. Fast Track FBA Seller Academy. You get to have a weekly call with me, not like this, a Zoom call. I answer all your questions every week. I'm actually doing 2 a week right now, really supporting the people. Number 2, you also get 3 calls a week. 1 call with my sources, 1 call with my admin, 1 call with my purchase. You get any questions with my team, speak to the experts. You get a call with them, group call with them, again, Zoom style, no problem. They will answer those questions. They'll support you out. The other one, not only do you get my sourcing course, which is my SOPs for sourcing and my sourcing team use, you get my purchasing course, my SOPs for all my purchasing managers. This is what we used to train our own team up on, by the way. And you get the SOPs for the admin. Again, someone asked about how do you know how much profit you make. That exact course you get as well, by the way. You get another course which overdoes all of them, and it's my business mastery course. And that's really about the frameworks that I use and how I've built these 2 businesses right here to 7 figures with, should we say, just working a few hours a week. And I mean, literally, I spend more time with you guys now on daily lives than I do with my own team, which is hilarious. But I literally take a 3-year goal. I break it down to a 1-year target, and then we have a very systematic way. It's very simple. You can take where you want to be in 1 year's time, and I can break it down into 12 monthly, should we say, chunks. Literally, if you're doing like 10,000 right now and you want to get to 30,000 a year, I can show you the exact steps you need to do. If you're doing 30,000 right now and you want to get to 100,000 a month, I can show you the exact steps you need to do. If you're doing 100,000 right now and you want to get to 250,000 a month, again, I can show you the exact steps you need to do. And I literally show you, like, this is like, you can put in your ROI, you can put in your cost per goods, you can put in how many sources you've got right now, and I can and literally we have sheets and we have systems, really simple. It just says you like, okay, cool, this is where you are now, do this, do this, do this, and this is the result you're gonna get, and you can literally see it. And when you have that 1-year planner, what we do is we then break it down. We break it down into every single month, and then we put 3 months together and we put them onto our quarter dashboard. Now, our quarter dashboard is amazing. Why? Because what happens is we break down those 3 months that we've just taken out of that big 1-year goal, and we break it down to weekly targets. And each individual person, I mean, every single individual person in your company will have very clearly defined goals that really affect that overall monthly, quarterly, and yearly target. And you can see every single week whether they're on track or off track. And it's absolutely incredible. Like, we've got people going in right now. It takes about an hour a week just to get all the data in, and then you can see everything. By the way, your team do it. We have how-to videos, like literally go here, do this, click, add that number in there, and it will just go red or green. And all you do is you come in, you look at all the reds and go, this week, right, how are we going to move those reds? How are we going to make them green? It's incredible. And the real thing about it is, I follow like Alex Hormozy. He's like, if you're running your business, that's absolutely fine, but realize that while you might be making good money, your business has no value because you're unreplaceable. But what you find is once you start hiring people to replace you, your business grows much faster. Why? Because you can make much better decisions about your business. Why? Number one, you know how your business runs intimately, you know what you're doing. But number two, you're not involved in the day-to-day, like the job. Like, you can get out of it. And then as a result, you can start now becoming the puppet master, changing, tweaking the system. It's absolutely amazing. And I really built that, and that's how I built these 2 systems here. So if you're interested and you want to know more about the Seller Academy, fasttrackfba.com/seller, you can see it down there, or look at the link in the bio, my 7-figure framework. Friday is the very last day. If you do not book a call before Friday, you will not be able to get on this, this year. We are closing this year. That's it. I'm not looking to reopen this year. And again, I don't reopen until the 20 people are happy, and they're really happy. So check it out. We get loads of other stuff. You get the USS leads as well. It's free. But like, you get literally, like, every week I'm like, how are you getting on? How can I help you this week? I'm really supporting this guy. So check it out. FastTrackFBA-Seller. Friday is the last day. Let's kind of jump through. What do we got here? I started to sell because I hated to work. For someone, then quit Amazon after a few months. Yeah, I get you. It's a really interesting thing. Someone asked, I watched something somewhere. It's like, what business should I create when I Probably one of the worst things to do during a live. Internet, Mexico City going down. I will kind of like wrap it up soon because I appreciate a lot of people just dropped off. So Z mentioned, sorry if anyone's kind of midstream there, sorry about that. Z mentioned I started to sell because I hated to work and someone quit after a few months of starting again. Yeah, really normal, really, really normal. I really understand that. Z mentioned, can you give us some top tips of A to A, Amazon to Amazon flips through Keeper? Like, I think you're just going to be looking for like historical, like the now price versus 180-day price. And generally it's got to be like 15, it's got to be below 50% at least. Your one problem comes is the fact that if you're trying to look for products whereby like Amazon are competing on the buy box, so that's another one. It's numbers. Again, just use Keeper. Current price is like greater than, is 40% off the historical price. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Someone has said £2. I have no idea why you're pink. Really interesting. Maybe you're like a premium member or something. I'm a premium member on YouTube. You can't subscribe to my channel. Or maybe you're to Christos's channel. That's why, maybe. Let me know, £2. Cool, thank you very much. Did Christos get that? Let me know if there's anything you can do. I'm going to jump to your question first. My UK account is activated while my USA account is deactivated because I haven't used it for a long time. How can I get it back successfully? You can obviously just try and message Seller Central and ask to get it back. Or if that doesn't work, speak to someone like Seller Basics or fasttrackfba.com/Jeff. They'll probably help you with reinstatement. That kind of really helps out. So yeah, if anyone's just joining on the live again, sorry, my internet died. Worst time ever. I live in a capital city. What's going on? Let's kind of go through Judge Gaming. Judge Gaming. Get it right, Tom. Hi, Thomas. Maybe a silly question, but is the 85K threshold for VAT an annual thing? So back to zero at the start of the calendar year. Good question, but no, unfortunately, it isn't. It's a 12-month rolling, any 12-month period. So yeah, the top tip for you is if you're a sole trader right now, you have the Amazon selling account in your name. But what you can do is when you get near the VAT threshold, you can go and create a company, an LTD. Amazon allow you in the UK to transfer from your sole trader to your company as the Amazon account. And while you're transferring the Amazon account, that's fine, but that doesn't mean you transfer the VAT because the VAT is classified under HMRC, which basically means it's a completely separate entity. So you start again at zero. It's not reset, you just start, it's a different entity. So you haven't traded, so you start again. You get to 12 months. Unfortunately, you can't go back again. You can't go from limited back to personal. It doesn't happen. So you can do it that way, but unfortunately, it doesn't reset. That's not the thing. How much is the Academy? You need to book a call to find out. We give a discount for certain Fast Track FBA purchases. So if you've already done it, that'll be it. That's something really, really important. So do check out, you need to book the Academy, fasttrackfba.com/call. By the way, Friday is the last day you can book. We will not reopen again this year. And I think if you want to get involved, if you're really looking to take your business to the next level, now is the time to do it. You're going to be working very closely with me and I'll teach you everything that I know, and I'll answer your questions very directly. Like you ask me a question, I'll be like, this is what you want to do, exactly this. Do that. And they'll be like, okay, cool. And I'll explain why as well. Like I can explain a bit here, but I appreciate I don't tell you everything. Whereas in that, I'm like, this is like, go to this course, look at that, do that. A lot of people are like, hey, I've got a problem here. I'm like, I can tell you what I think, this is why, but I'd really recommend speaking to my admin team. They know exactly this. They've dealt with it many times. Go join this call, they'll be on it, and you get access to that. You get access to my entire team. So, but again, it depends on what you've purchased already through us. We change the price, we give you a discount on that. So, but you do need to book a call, fasttrackfba.com/seller. It'll be down the bottom here. And that's for the Seller Academy. We're only looking for just 20 people. I think, don't quote me, I think we've got about 7 spaces left. We've got about 15 calls booked. So do get a call booked. And the one thing which I'll say is Friday is the last day you can book a call. That's it. You need to get it booked. By the way, if you book a call and you go, it's not for you, fantastic. But at least you're going to find out if it's going to be right. And my team tell you a lot about it and share a lot of information. And really, you're just working closely with me, and I teach you everything that I know. And look, if you want to build a business whereby you have more time or maybe more money or both, then hopefully I can really help you out. And that's what I've done. Again, I spend more time with you guys doing lives than I do my own business. So yeah. Let's go jump through. We'll do the final question. Facebook user, hey Tom, good to see you on another live. Yeah, sorry about the breakdown. We had 17 people on the live and just one channel, and then all of a sudden cut off. Quick question for me, thanks. When you get your cash back, do you count this towards your tax as well? So cashback technically I think it's classified different under IRS and HMRC. So cashback I think the way it's classified under UK is it's called a reduction in the cost of goods. So technically it should be classified under your, what do you call it? should be classified in your business, I think. It'd be under your business because it's a reduction in the cost of goods in the business there. Now, I would really recommend speak to your accountant and see what they do. If you are taking it like, and there's different things, you've got to be a bit careful. Like, if you get cash back and you convert it if you get cash back in regards to points and you use those points on travel in the US, that isn't classified as taxable income at all. But and again, you can get cash back as points, or you can get cash back as cash and convert them into points, which again, is travel, or should I say hotel stays, which is what I do a lot with. As far as I'm aware, that's not classified as income. So I think for you, the question I would probably really ask is you need to speak to your accountant and you need to just clarify it from them. And the reason is because you can do a lot of stuff with it, and how you do that obviously has an impact upon. And if you do decide to, if it does take an impact upon your tax, then that's going to be something that you need to consider. But like, again, I'm not a professional, I'm not a tax advisor. I would really recommend speaking to your accountant on what you do. That would be the most important thing. I hope that kind of helps. But again, like, I don't want to sit here and say yes or no, because it's not my place to say about your tax situation and how you do that. And it might be like there's a bit of a grey area where, like, what happens if you take £5 cash back? Is that like, wow, I've got to pay out my cash or my income? Possibly, possibly not. But if you're taking 50,000 cash back, that's probably a very different situation. There's a really interesting article I read somewhere. So in the US, it was like some guy basically used to go get his Amex cards, go buy voucher, go to Walmart, buy the voucher cards, and then he could take those voucher cards to somewhere else and get the cash out, and then pay off the Amex. And what happened was that it was like a 5% every time he did it. It wasn't, but he did it for 5 years and made like $500,000. It was like incredible how much he did. And the IRS took him to court because he didn't pay taxes on it. And then the government, the court said, no, it's not taxable income, because it was basically like how it's classified. It's really weird. Like, it basically is considered cash back, and it was cash back on his own purchases. But it's kind of like, I spent 100 quid, and then I spent 100 quid on something which was a cost, and then I got 105 quid back when I refunded. So I didn't earn money, I just had a negative income, a negative cost, which, like, you would think would be profit, but under the government, under the law, it wasn't. It's really interesting. So there's a good article, but again, speak to your accountant. I can't give you tax advice. I'm not a tax accountant. I'm not qualified. Z, what's the best piece of advice you would give someone who's starting out new on Amazon? I think it would be something very much around, like, appreciate, like, it's kind of like appreciate the grind, accept that it's going to take hard work. Like, no one ever got rich, or like no one ever what's it called? It's like no one ever got rich by like willpower or like brains alone. It's hard work. And by the way, you can outwork people, it's fine. But I think when you're starting on Amazon, it's like, it's a business, for God's sake. It's bloody hard work. I'd probably say 2 things: work really hard and network like you would never believe, because you will learn lots of stuff. Always be learning, always be working. That's like something like that. You just got to go. That's something really, really important. Like, it's hard work. Z, I hope that makes sense. I'm going to leave this as my last question for the day. I'm not able to buy any gift cards as they will cancel my order. Are you doing that, purchasing gift cards or VZ cards? No, not at all. It's too much of a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I'd never do it. Also, the accounting behind it is a nightmare. I know you can get some really good deals, but I'm not too interested. I know some people do. For me, I'm not interested. Like, we could do it with RVAs. I'm just not interested. So, no, we don't do it. But I understand it. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to apologize for the internet outage, but I am going to drop off there. It's been a real pleasure, 45 minutes with you guys. If you want me to hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, give a heart, let me know. And I just want to say thank you to everyone obviously joining, asking questions. I'll probably try and drop on the same time tomorrow if I can. I think that'd be, it seems like quite a good time. Obviously, Z, thank you so much for that. Guys, follow Z. He's giving me lots of love. I absolutely love it. Look at the sports car, absolutely smashing it. So let me know if there's anything I can do. I'll try and jump on at the same time tomorrow. And I really enjoy going live with you guys answering questions. But yeah, just have a great day. Keep smashing it. Q4 is here. We're seeing increase in sales. Buy more stock. And Black Friday's, guess what? On Friday. Right. Stay safe, people. Bye.